Close your eyes for a moment. Envision the eternal city of Rome at its zenith. Colossal arches triumphantly spanning the sky, gladiators roaring in the arena, philosophers debating in shaded forms, and merchants from every corner of the known world exchanging goods under the watchful gaze of marble gods. Now, feel the weight of a pristine silver denarius in your hand. Cool, solid, a symbol of unyielding power that could command armies, build wonders, or seal fates. But what if I told you this very coin, this beacon of stability, became the empire's undoing? Twisted by greedy hands, diluted to shadows, it sparked a chain reaction of inflation, chaos, and collapse that still whispers warnings through the ages. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an immersive epic, the real reason Rome, S-money, crashed, the debasement disaster that echoes in your wallet. Today. In this hour-long odyssey, we'll unearth the buried truths of Rome's monetary betrayal, how emperors, blinded by ambition and squeezed by crises, systematically sabotaged their currency to cling to power. We'll march through the timeline emperor by emperor, relive the human stories of those crushed by the fallout, explore parallels in fallen empires from Persia to Spain, and confront the chilling echoes in our 2025 world of soaring gold prices, crypto booms, and persistent inflation. This isn't dry history. It's a pulse-pounding thriller with villains, victims, and vital lessons for your financial future. Are you ready to question everything you thought you knew about money? Let's dive in, starting where it all began, in the forge of the Roman Republic. Cast your mind back to the 5th century BC, when Rome was no empire but a scrappy hilltop village, scrabbling for survival against Etruscan kings and Sabine raiders. Money? Forget coins? Transactions were raw barter, a cow for tools, grain for cloth. But as Rome flexed its muscles, conquering neighbors and forging alliances, the need for something portable and trustworthy emerged. Enter the AAS Rude around 400 BC, crude bronze lumps weighed on scales for every deal. No frills, no faces, just honest metal, as rugged as the Romans themselves. By the 3rd century BC, during the Pyrrhic Wars against that wily Greek king Pyrrhus, Rome upped its game with the AIS Signatum. Large bronze bars cast with symbols like bulls or eagles, weighing up to 1.6 kilograms. These weren't just money, they were propaganda, boasting of victories. But the real game changer hit during the Second Punic War in 211 BC as Hannibal's elephants terrorized Italy. Desperate for funds to outlast the Carthaginian scourge, Rome minted its first silver coin, the denarius. Pure genius, nearly 100% silver, 4.5 grams heavy, stamped with Roma's helmeted head on one side and the Dioscuri twins on the other. 1 denarius equaled 10 bronze asses, buying a day's labor or a hearty meal of bread, olives, and garum sauce. What made this system unbreakable? Intrinsic value and scarcity. Silver poured in from conquered mines in Hispania and Macedonia, but you couldn't conjure it from nothing. Republican moneyers, elected officials with oversight from the Senate, ensured purity. No emperor's whims here, just the people's trust. Julius Caesar, that audacious general, minted coins with his laureled bust in 44 BC, blurring lines between man and God. But he kept the silver spotless. His heir, Augustus, crowned emperor in 27 BC, locked in the golden standard. The aureus, 8 grams of pure gold worth 25 denarii, fueling the Pax Romana's golden age. Trade exploded, spices from India, silk from China, amber from the Baltic, all greased by reliable Roman coinage. Imagine, a merchant in Londinium swapping denarii for wool, knowing they'd hold value in Alexandria. This was money as empire builder, a silent conqueror more potent than legions. But here's the hook, dear listener. Empires don't fall from the sky, they rot from the core. And Rome's core? It's currency. As the empire ballooned to 50 million souls by the 1st century AD, costs ballooned too. Legions, stationed from Hadrian's Wall to the Euphrates, devoured budgets. Grand projects like the Pantheon or Trajan's Column guzzled gold. When fresh conquests stalled, no more easy mines to plunder, emperors eyed their mints. Raise taxes? Risk rebellion, like the Jewish revolt in 66 AD. Borrow? Limited options in a pre-bond world. No, the slide path was debasement, stealthily slashing precious metal content, minting more coins from less bullion. It's like promising a feast, but serving watered-down broth. Tastes fine at first, but leaves you starving. Our saga's first antagonist, Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, that flamboyant tyrant of AD 5468. Picture him, a self-styled artist emperor, strumming his lyre amid opulence. But in AD 64, the Great Fire torched 2/3 of Rome. Rumor swirled he ignited it for urban renewal. Rebuilding his golden house, a sprawling palace with artificial lakes and rotating dining rooms, bankrupted the state. Nero's fix? In AD 64, he debased the denarius, Silver purity from 100% to 94%, weight from 3.4 grams to 3.3 grams. A sneaky 10-15% cut. The aureus trimmed from 8 grams to 7.3 grams of gold. His coins, often showing him as Radiant Apollo, hid the fraud. Short term? Genius. More coins funded bread and circuses, keeping the mob placated. But seeds of inflation sprouted. Prices inched up as savvy traders demanded extra for goods. Nero's fall in AD 68 sparked the year of the 4 emperors, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, then Vespasian. Each tweaked the currency amid civil strife. Vespasian, that no-nonsense soldier from humble roots, stabilized in AD 69-79 by debasing to 90% silver to erect the Colosseum, a 50,000-seat marvel on Nero's old grounds. His son Titus kept the trend, but it was Trajan, AD 98-117, the Optimus Princeps, who expanded aggressively. Conquering Dacia in AD 107 brought gold floods, yet he dropped the denarius to about 80% silver and 3.21 grams. Why? Endless infrastructure, markets, baths, forums. His column, spiraling with battle scenes, was paid for partly by diluted coins. Enter the philosopher King Marcus Aurelius, AD 161-180. Besieged by Germanic tribes on the Danube in the devastating Antonine Plague, perhaps smallpox, killing 5 to 10 million, he needed cash for fortifications and legions. Debasement to 75% silver funded his stoic endurance. As chronicled in his Meditations, what stands in the way becomes the way, except when it's fiscal ruin. His son, Commodus, that gladiator-obsessed madman, AD 180 to 192, slashed further amid personal excesses, like fighting beasts in the arena. The Severan era accelerated the plunge. Septimius Severus, AD 193-211, a tough African general, seized power after Commodus's murder. Facing mutinous praetorians, he jacked soldiers' pay from 300 to 500 denarii yearly. Populist, but pricey. Solution: debased to 50% silver. His coin screamed eternal harmony, but harmony fractured. His brutal son Caracalla, AD 198-217, who slew his brother Geta before their mother's eyes, unveiled the Antoninianus in AD 215, a double denarius with a radiate crown, worth 2 but holding only 1.5 times the silver. A blatant con. He even extended citizenship empire-wide via the Antonine Constitution, not for rights, but to tax more souls. Assassinated in a latrine plot, Caracalla's legacy. Rampant inflation as merchants hiked prices to compensate. Now, brace yourselves for the heart of the storm. The crisis of the 3rd century, AD 235 to 284, a half-century apocalypse of 26 emperors, most knifed or poisoned after fleeting reigns. Starting with Maximinus Thrax, a giant barbarian-born soldier who debased wildly to pay his troops. Invasions everywhere, Goths sacking Athens, Persians capturing Emperor Valerian alive in AD 260, skinning him as a trophy. Amid this, debasement hit warp speed. Under Gallienus, AD 253-268, the Antoninianus withered to 2 to 5% silver, a copper core with flaky silver plating. Coins of pretenders like Postumus in the Gallic Empire copied the rot. Hyperinflation erupted. Wheat prices, stable at 0.5 denarii per modius under Augustus, rocketed to 200 plus denarii. Papyri from Roman Egypt show rents tripling, wages lagging. Imagine a Roman baker, once thriving, now bartering flour for tools because coins dissolve in value like salt in water. The human toll? Devastating. Soldiers, underpaid in trash metal pillaged farms, sparking peasant uprisings like the Bagodai in Gaul. Urban riots flared in Rome and Antioch. Trade crumbled. Why ship olive oil for worthless coins? The wealthy hoarded pure ori, fleeing to rural latifundia, birthing feudalism's seeds. Gresham's law ruled, bad money drives out good. Pure coins vanished into socks, debased ones circulated. Military spending, a whopping 75% of the budget per economic analyses. Add silver outflows to India for luxuries. Corrupt mint officials skimming and plagues decimating labor. Rome's economy imploded. Provinces splintered. The Palmyrene Empire under Queen Zenobia briefly shone, minting her own coins before Aurelian's reconquest. Yet heroes rose from the ashes. Aurelian, AD 270-275, dubbed Restitutor Orbis, Restorer of the World, smashed usurpers in reformed coinage in AD 274, stamping Kixikitten for 20.1 copper-silver ratio, 5% pure. He rebuilt Rome's walls, but was assassinated. Irony of ironies. Diocletian, AD 284-305, a Dalmatian peasant-turned-emperor, revolutionized, splitting the realm into the Tetrarchy, 4 rulers for better control. He revived pure silver with the Argentius, 3 grams, 95% plus pure, and bronze phallus. But inflation raged, so in AD 301, his edict on maximum prices, a stone-carved law capping 1 to 200 dollar goods, pork at 12 denarii per pound, silk at 12,000, with execution for gougers. Epic fail, black markets exploded, enforcers bribed, goods hoarded. Diocletian quit in AD 305, tending cabbages in retirement. Constantine the Great, AD 306 through AD 37, pivoted to gold. The solidus, 4.5 grams pure, anchored the Byzantine East for a millennium. The West limped to AD 476, when Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustulus, its debased denarii mere bronze slugs. Rome's fall, not just barbarians. Debasement eroded trust, the glue of society. But Rome wasn't alone in this monetary madness. History brims with debasement doppelgangers. Ancient Persia, under Darius the 522-486 BC, debased silver shekels during Greek wars, weakening the Achaemenid grip till Alexander toppled it. Athens, under wise Solon in 594 BC, devalued the drachma once to ease debts, but avoided chronic clipping, unlike Corinth, whose mixed coins fueled economic strife. Byzantium, Rome's heir, saw Michael VIII, 1259-1282, clip gold hyperpyra amid Mongol hordes, hastening the Paleologos' decline. Fast forward. The Spanish Empire in the 16th to 17th centuries flooded Europe with New World silver, but Philip II's debasements funded endless wars, sparking the price revolution, inflation up 400%, and imperial overstretch. Ottoman sultans like Suleiman the Magnificent debased the Akshay in the 1500s for conquests, igniting the Xalali rebellions and economic decay. Medieval Europe, French kings like Philip IV the Fair, 1285-1314, repeatedly debased the livre, earning the nickname the Counterfeiter and provoking the Templars' downfall. Post-WWI, Germany hyperinflated the mark to pay Versailles reparations, $1 from 4 marks in 1914 to 4.2 trillion in 1923, paving Hitler's rise. These tales scream a universal truth. Debasement is a tyrant's crutch, birthing inflation dragons that devour empires. Now, zoom to 2025. Does Rome's specter lurk in your digital wallet? Hell yes. Since Nixon ditched the gold standard in 1971, the US dollar's lost 85% plus purchasing power. Inflation? Official 3% annual as of September 2025, up from 2.9% in August, per BLS data, fueled by deficits topping 35 trillion modern debasement, not coin clipping, but digital. The Fed's quantitative easing, pumping $9 trillion post-COVID. It's stealth taxation, diluting your savings like Nero's silver. Witness the debasement trade exploding in 2025. Gold smashing $2,800 Aussie, up 65% yearly. Silver surging. Bitcoin rocketing 16% amid dollar's 9% dip. Investors flee fiat for hard assets, as The Guardian dubs it, a hedge against deficits, wars, Ukraine, Middle East, and bailouts. Extreme cases? Zimbabwe's 2008 sextillion% hyperinflation. Venezuela's 2018 Bolivar collapse at 65,000%. Turkey's lira plunging 80% in the 2020s. Japan's yen wobbling under stimulus mountains. Parallels? Uncanny. Roman wars echo U.S. military budgets. Emperor's handouts mirror stimulus. As Forbes warns, bailouts debase via money creation, inflating away debts, but eroding trust. Crypto profits hail Bitcoin as digital solidus. Capped supply defying dilution. Central banks hoard gold. CBDCs loom, promising control but risking more manipulation. Niall Ferguson quips modern QE is Roman clipping on steroids. With global debt at $315 trillion, are we Rome 2.0? As our epic concludes, remember, Rome crumbled not from swords alone, but debased dreams. You hold the power, educate yourself, diversify beyond fiat, embrace sound money. Question: is your wealth shielded or subtly eroding? Thanks for this thrilling ride through time's monetary minefield. Like, subscribe, share your debasement stories below. Until next adventure, fortify your fortunes. History demands it.